Hey guys, thanks for joining us. This is our second hangout of pre-departure. We're going to do a few more before the summer gets here. Just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to come chat with us. We hope this is informative. We hope it's helpful. We look forward to answering as many questions as you can. My name is Christian. I've been with InterExchange. This will be my third summer, going on 4 years. I worked at a summer camp for 5 years up in Maine. Love the program, love camp, and excited to show you guys some stuff about camp.
My name is Julia. I've been with InterExchange for 2 years now, and I went to camp in North Carolina, and I am so envious of all of you who get to go back to camp this summer.
And my name is Liesel. I've been with InterExchange for 5 years. I went to summer camp in Wisconsin. I worked my way up from camper to support staff role. I worked in the kitchen, so I know what that's like, and I was also a camp counselor, so very familiar with all the jobs you guys are doing. And I'm also the person who signs your DS 2019 forms. So if you have any specific questions regarding CVIS or your DS form, I can help answer that. And now you have a face to go with the signature.
Before we get to a few questions that have already been submitted, I just kind of want to show you guys basically your online account with us. There's lots of good information on there, so I kind of wanted to show you what it would look like. If you haven't logged into your account, please do. You can do so at app.interexchange.org. It's the same place you filled out the application, but now that you've been placed, it opens up a lot more information. So be sure to log into your account at app.interexchange.org. You can see here that it'll say, congratulations, you've been placed in the name of the camp that you're going to be working at this summer. This is also a link to your camp's website, so be sure to check out your camp website, learn a little bit about them. I'm sure they'll have packing tips and videos and photos. Be sure to check it out so you can learn about your camp before you get there. It's also going to say what your position is. It looks like this summer I'll be working as a counselor. I'm excited about that. It'll also list your stipend. I'm going to be earning $1,750 for the summer. That's awesome. Pretty excited about that. It's also going to give you important information such as my dates. It looks like I need to arrive at camp on June 14th. My contract is going to start on June 15th, and I'll be working until August 30th. It also has my travel directions. Looks like I'm supposed to take a Greyhound bus from New York City to Portland, Maine. I'm going to call my camp to give them my arrival time. Someone's going to pick me up in Portland, Maine. Yeah, be sure to review your travel instructions, especially now that arrival is getting here. Go ahead and Google Greyhound bus, take a look at the schedule. Make sure you're familiar with what you're going to do once you get to New York or wherever you're flying into. Go ahead and do your homework before you get on a plane. We're always here to help through these Q&As and through email. You can email us at campusa@interexchange.org. So if you have any questions about your travel instructions, please contact us. We're here to help, and we want to make sure you get to camp on time and safely. You'll also see some other information about your camp, including the primary contact at your camp, their email address, their phone number, the address of where your camp actually is, and a little bit of information on your camp lifestyle. Down at the bottom, there's your insurance information. Everyone will have accident and sickness insurance while they're working. To review your specific plan details, can all be accessed here, as well as getting a new ID card, downloading claim forms, lots of good stuff. So if you need to use your insurance or you want to review anything about your insurance, it's all down here at the bottom. Scrolling back up, another important section is the Participant Resource Center. If you click on this, it will take you to a lot of good resources, from arrival information to I-94, stipends, Inside the USA guide, lots and lots of good information. So please, maybe even after we're done here, go ahead and log in and make sure you're familiar with all of this. If anything looks incorrect or looks new to you, again, reach out to us and we'll clear anything up that needs to be cleared up. So yeah, before going on to some more formal stuff, let's answer a few questions we've got. We'll do that first one.
So the question is, hi everybody, could you please recommend me a specific prepaid SIM card, the cheapest but with coverage throughout the country? Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so SIM cards. Basically, if you're really wanting to use your phone that you use at home, you can get a SIM card. You can get a SIM card at most major cell phone stores, such as a Verizon or an AT&T. But my suggestion, the easiest, probably the cheapest and most affordable, would be going to a Walmart. There are Walmarts all over the country, and you can get a preloaded phone. It'll include a SIM card, a phone number, a package of minutes, cost between $20 and $30, depending on how many minutes you get. But that's definitely the most affordable, and that would be my suggestion, is to get a prepaid phone that includes a SIM card at a Walmart.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the next question. Hi everyone, smiley face. Do you know about some good hostels in either Washington, D.C. or Boston?
Cool. That's a really good question. So again, in that participant resource center that I just brought up, you'll see under arrival information that we have our US arrival and our New York arrival. We also should have some hostel suggestions in here. Let me just bring that up. Where?
Nope, I didn't see it.
I think it was on the regular.
Yeah.
site.
Yeah. Let me just bring that up real quick.
One common hostel that a lot of students like to use is Hosteling International. It's a chain. It's the hostel that we recommend that our participants use in New York. But there's also usually Hosteling International in every major city. So that's a really great one to use. Also, if you go to hostelbookers.com, what's some of the other websites?
Hostel Bookers, hostels.com, those are probably the two biggest. But yeah, we also have this. Again, it's on your arrival guide, be it the New York arrival or the US arrival. But it lists hostels in most of the major cities in the country. Specifically, I believe the question was Boston or DC. So in Boston, the ones we would suggest, again, Hosteling International is a great brand of hostels. They're all over the country. That would probably be our first suggestion. Two of the other ones that we really like in Boston would be the 40 Berkeley Hostel and the Friend Street Hostel. So those are a couple available in Boston. If you do choose Hosteling International Boston, if you use the promo code EXCHANGE, you can get a 10% off your reservation there. Washington, D.C., a couple more options. You'll see again, we have the Hosteling International D.C. With its 10% off code. And a couple others, International House, the DC House, Capitol View Hostel, Washington International Student Center, and the Capitol Comfort Hostel. So those would be Boston and DC. Those would be our suggestions. But you'll also notice there are hostels Denver, LA, Miami, New York. Pretty much anywhere you'd want to go, we have a few hostels that we could suggest for you. So if you haven't seen this, it's posted to our Facebook group. It's also on your US or New York arrival guide. But if you want a copy of this, again, you can email us and we'll send this to you. It'd be something good to have. Another one just popped up in terms of in LA. Again, it'd be on here. But LA, again, Hosteling International, LA Santa Monica. That would be our suggestion for LA. Again, with another discount code, use exchange and get 10% off. So yeah, this is a really great thing. These are all great hostels, safe places to stay, fairly affordable. So if you'd like this, please email us. And again, it'll be on your US or New York arrival guide.
Cool, so that's all the questions right now. If y'all have any other questions, feel free at any time to just post them in the question box on the right-hand side. And I think we're gonna get started with the presentation for you.
Cool, so this should potentially stimulate a couple other questions, but we want to go over some kind of major points from the orientation that you guys have all been provided. Kind kind of the first thing is, we wanted to introduce ourselves. We are InterExchange. We are located in New York City. The three of us are the camp team, and we are your visa sponsor. We want to make sure you guys have a great summer. We want to make sure that this program provides you with access to cultural opportunities. We want you to learn about America. We want you to share your culture with your fellow staff and your campers. We're here for you. So if you ever need to call us, please do. Our email address is here. Again, it's campusa@interexchange.org. You can call us toll-free between 9:30 and 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And in the event of an emergency, you can call us at this 917 number. This number is on your online account. It's also in your handbook. But if you ever need to reach us in the event of an emergency, please save this number and call us. So yeah, that's who we are. We're your visa sponsor. We're InterExchange, and we just kind of wanted to say hello. So yeah, this is a little bit about the program as a whole. I'm going to kind of let Lisa talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so your visa, the J1 visa, is a cultural exchange visa. So remember, when you're here, you're a representative of your home country. So you're the ambassador. You might be the first person somebody meets from your country. So you want to make every effort to make a good impression, and also to take advantage of the opportunity to learn about American culture. The idea of this program is that you get to experience many things in the United States, activities, visit sites, visit museums, get to know the people, the language, the culture, and also for you to share your culture with others. So this is much more than a summer job. It's really an entire experience, a cultural exchange experience. So we just ask that you keep an open mind, be ready for an adventure, and yeah, be open to the experience.
Cool. So yeah, this one's a little bit, just what is life at camp like? We've all worked at summer camps, the three of us, that is. Camp can be a very unique place. So we just kind of want to let you guys know that, there really is no place like camp, and there is no other job like being a camp counselor or working on the support staff of a summer camp. So we want you guys to know this is a unique experience. It can be a very rewarding experience. But yeah, we really want you guys to embrace the unknown, be prepared for anything, be ready for an adventure, that kind of thing. So kind of some specific stuff on what it's like to live at a camp and to work at a camp. I think Julia could probably tell you better than anyone what that's all about.
Yeah, sure thing. So most camps are, set in a remote setting outside of town. There's some camps closer to towns than others. It really depends on your camp that you're going to, what life is going to be like there. But most days start pretty early. You'll wake up and you'll help get your campers ready for the day, or you'll help, get the kitchen going for the day. And you're working all day long until campers need to go to sleep, which is awesome, and it's exhausting, so make sure you also take care of yourself a little bit. Your time off policies are going to vary from camp to camp. You'll at least have one day off a week. You may or may not be able to leave camp at night, kind of just depends on what your directors tell you. As for living conditions, some camps have some cool but rustic platform tents, and then other cabins will have electricity and in-cabin showers and things of that sort. One thing to remember that is actually, I think, the most important part of camp is that it's for the campers. So you're going to have a great summer regardless, but you may not always get to do exactly the activity that you want when you want to do it. So you may not always have access to the waterfront, and you may have to go help out with campers when you are feeling tired too. But have fun, get involved with the campers. They're really awesome. Take part in all the evening programs you can. Be open to new experiences, because it is a lot of fun, and it will probably be one of the greatest things you do.
Yeah, just kind of to piggyback on that, I would say definitely it's the more you give to your campers and the more you give to your fellow staff, the more you're going to get out of this program. So really kind of embrace the team aspect of this. Buy in, get involved, be silly, play the games, have a good time, and you'll really get a lot out of this program. The friends you're going to make at camp are going to be friends for life. and your campers are going to be like your little brothers and sisters. So those are definitely the two most important things about camp life. Kind of on that, we go into commitment and communication. Really, the way to succeed at this program is to commit to it, and to go in knowing that you've made a 9-week promise to your camp that you're going to work hard for those full 9 weeks. You're going to show these kids a great summer. You're going to teach them lots of new stuff. So yeah, we really want you guys to be committed and also communicate. Communicate with us, communicate with your employer, communicate with your kids. If you're having problems at camp, call us. We can help. It's kind of what we're here for. We can be a mediator for any sort of conflicts you might be having. So if you're having any issues, please do stay in touch with us. You are required to check in with us every 30 days. We'll be sending you out reminders, so be sure to check your email. But every 30 days, you're going to need to check in with us. And during those check-ins, we really do encourage you. Tell us how your summer's going. Tell us what activities you've done. Tell us what cities you visited. Anything. We love it. So be sure to check in every 30 days. And you'll also need to check in with us as soon as you arrive to camp. These are very important things. These are not only for your safety, these are requirements of the visa. So a failure to respond to any contact by InterExchange could cause your program to be terminated. So guys, yeah, seriously, check your email, stay in touch with us. We're here to help, and we want to hear how your summer's going. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions on this stuff, feel free to reach out to us. I guess we'll take a short break on the presentation just to ask another, answer another one of these questions we have.
All right, I'm not sure if it's stopped presenting or not.
So looks like the question is, do you know of a good web page to buy bus tickets? It really depends on which bus you're taking. So if you don't know which bus you're taking, ask your camp. If they just said take a bus from the Port Authority to Poughkeepsie, you probably need to know which bus to take. The most popular website to buy bus tickets is Greyhound.com. You can Google that. Greyhound is spelled with an E. But that's the biggest bus line in the US. That's where you can get buses to almost anywhere. So that would be my first suggestion if you're looking to buy bus tickets, would be to start with Greyhound. If you don't find any results, again, you can ask us. There's probably a dozen different bus companies in the country that are operating, but Greyhound is the biggest and has the widest network.
Yeah, other than that, honestly, I personally just sometimes Google like bus from location to the next location, because there's a lot of smaller bus lines as well that are more regional. So Greyhound covers anywhere in the US, but you might be able to find a better bus at a better rate on a smaller bus line, and it's just really hard to know about that. So it's really just finding that specific website. So again, you can ask us. We know in the Northeast, a lot of the common ones, the short line bus, Peter Pan bus, Mega Bus. There's the Chinatown buses, depending on where you're going, that might work. So you can Google, but Greyhound's like the biggest one, I would say.
We just got another question, which I really like. Will I have time to see other parts of the US outside of my camp area? Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone, you guys have a 30-day grace period that comes with your J1 visa. So let's say you're working until August 15th at your camp. You can stay in the country until September 14th. So you have a full 30 days to travel after camp. So not only do you have the time to visit other parts of the US, we definitely encourage it. We have lots of good resources for you guys, from our cultural compass to our competition, which is InterExplore, where you can win prizes for visiting areas around the US. So yeah, you'll definitely have time to travel the US and see parts of the US outside of where your camp is. And we 100% encourage it. And if you guys need help putting together a trip, tips on where to go, we're here to help. We've got lots of good resources. Give us a call, shoot us an email, and we'll give you lots of good ideas for how to take advantage of your travel period. We'll move right along through this. What do I do once I arrive in the US? So yeah, arrival's coming up. It's almost here. When you do land, ensure you have all of your arrival documents, which would be your passport, your DS 2019, and obviously the visa, which should be stamped into your passport. I'd go ahead and have those out of my bag, in my hand, while I'm in line at customs. Once you go, the Customs and Border Patrol officer is going to ask you for your passport and your DS 2019. You'll give those both to the officer. They more than likely will ask you the reason for your visit to the US. You are a exchange visitor. You can go ahead and tell them you're an exchange visitor here on a cultural exchange program, and that you have either the J1 Camp Counselor visa or the J1 Summer Work Travel visa. The officer will then stamp your passport and allow you into the country. From there, go ahead and get your bags. And that's when you'll start following your travel instructions, is once you've gone through customs and you've collected your bags. If you're flying into New York, you will not be met at the airport unless your camp is meeting you there. You will either need to head to the hostel if you're staying there for the night, or continue to follow your travel instructions to catch your bus or train to camp. If you decided to make a reservation at Hostling International, we advise that you go directly there from the airport. We recommend taking a super shuttle. It's the most affordable, most consistent way to get from the airport to the city. The address of the hostel is located here. If you're not flying into New York and your camp has instructed you to fly to a different airport, again, you'll follow your travel instructions that you've been given, but be sure to contact your camp so that everyone's on the same page. The most important thing here is do not accept a ride from anyone who approaches you at the airport. I cannot stress this enough. Please, 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 if someone comes up to you while you're collecting your bags or you're walking around the airport and says, hey, need a ride? Do not take that ride. Only take rides from official cabs. Usually there will be a cab line or companies such as Super Shuttle. But if an individual approaches you at the airport and offers you a ride, do not take it. So yeah, that's pretty much the most important, is go through customs, get your bags, and take a safe method of transportation onward from the airport. What is the I-94 card? This is great timing.
Select that question.
Yeah, because we just got asked, when do I have to print my I-94? So I'm going to let Julia talk a little bit about the I-94 card.
Yeah, the I-94 card is the record of your entry to the US. So you won't be able to print it until you've arrived. There's a website you can go to it's listed right here. It's the cbp.gov/I-94. When you go to that website, you'll have information to put in. So put in your name and everything it asks for. Sometimes if at first when you enter it, if it says record not found, sometimes the border agents will misspell your name or something like that. So try a couple of different variations of your name. If you have your first and middle in your passport and it doesn't work, maybe take one of them out and try again. If all else fails, you can contact us and we can help you out some with that too. And then you're gonna wanna print it out and just keep it with you.
Yeah, basically you can't do this until you've already entered the country.
Yeah.
So really, as soon as you've landed, you've got your bags, don't worry about this until you've made it to camp or to a hostel where you can sit down at a computer. But again, you'll go to cpb.gov.I-94. You'll get taken to a page that looks like this. You'll enter in your passport information, you'll click submit, and then you'll get taken to a screen that looks like this. This is your I-94 admission record. I would print this and at a bare minimum, write down your I-94 number. So yeah, that's how you get your I-94. Great question and good timing. But yeah, you will need this to apply for Social Security. So again, once you get to camp or once you get to the hostel, if you have any trouble filling this out, call or email us and we can walk you through that process.
Yeah.
So this, yeah, we just want to kind of go over your DS 2019. This is probably the most important form you guys have. Keep the original, that is going to be signed by more than likely Liesl. It'll also be signed by the US Embassy. Keep the original, you'll need it, and it's a very important document. On the top left-hand corner, it's going to be listed your camp, or it's also sometimes referred to as your site of activity. This is where you're working, so be sure that is correct, accurate, and you're familiar with where you're going to be working, the address who you're going to be working for. A little bit further down are your program dates. The dates listed here are the dates that we have that you are working. These are not necessarily the dates that you're allowed to be in the country. These just say your program dates. Again, the dates you're working. Next to that would be your job title. Most everyone is going to have a counselor job. It might have something more specific, such as a waterfront counselor. Or if you're working in support staff, it might say kitchen or landscaping. But this will be your job title. A little bit further down, you'll see the sponsor information. Again, your sponsor is InterExchange, but it'll say so right here on your DS 2019, along with our contact information. On the bottom right corner is what's called the travel authorization. If you plan to go to anywhere outside of the US during your program dates, which again are listed right here, we need to sign this form. If you leave the country during your program, you may not be able to get back in. So if you plan on going to Canada or Mexico, or need to go home for a wedding, and then plan to come back, this needs to be signed by us. So don't just think that you can enter and exit without this. Very important, if you plan to travel outside of the US, contact us and we will need to sign this section of your form. Yeah, how much will I be paid this summer? Of course, this is a work and travel program. We like to think that it's more than a job. It is an experience, but you will receive compensation for your work as a camp counselor or on the support staff team. Counselors who paid for their own flights, so if you booked your flights, you paid for them, you're going to earn a minimum of $1,550 for the summer. If you arranged your own job, you also arranged your stipend with your camp. If you did not arrange your own flights, let's say a cooperator booked them for you, you did not pay for your flights, you'll earn a lower stipend because you're getting a flight with that, but you'll earn a minimum of $900. Support staff participants, again, that's anyone working in the kitchen, housekeeping, maintenance, anywhere like that. You'll earn a minimum of $2,700, which is based on federal minimum wage. Yeah, the most important part of this is if you're not clear on what you're being paid, please contact InterExchange and your camp before you leave the US. If you have questions, if you don't know exactly what you're being paid this summer, ask us. We're here to help. Ask your camp. Don't be afraid to ask, especially not us. We're here to help with that kind of stuff. So if you don't know what you're being paid, or you have any questions about it, or are unfamiliar with anything like that, we're here to help. Reach out to us. On the note of payment, will taxes be taken from my paycheck? Almost certainly. Anyone who works in the US should have taxes taken from their paycheck. It will only be state, federal, or local taxes. No deductions will be made for Social Security or Medicare. This stuff can get really confusing even for us who deal with this on a day-to-day basis. If you have questions on what taxes are or are not being taken out of your paycheck, first stop, talk to your camp director. They're all friendly, great people. They'll help you. So speak to them. They'll explain how everything works. If you have trouble, again, we're always here to help. So contact us and we can let you know how it works. But if you're being taxed and there are deductions from your paycheck for state, local, and federal taxes, it shouldn't be any more than around 18% of your total pay. And you can file to have at least a portion of this returned to you at the end of the year. But you should expect to have taxes taken from your paycheck. And again, it'll amount to roughly 18% of your pay. What about a Social Security card? Everyone is eligible for a Social Security card, and your camp director will assist you in getting one. Most camps will take their staff to the Social Security office as a big group where everyone fills out their application the same day. It can take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks from the time you apply for your Social Security card to the time you actually receive your Social Security card. Don't worry, the most important part is that you actually apply for your Social Security card. In the Participant Resource Center is the application, as well as some tips on how to apply for it. If you have any questions on how to get your Social Security card, again, ask your camp director and us. More than likely, your camp is going to take you to the Social Security office during orientation to get your Social Security card. But if you need help, always here to help.
Also with Social Security, you need to be checked in with us and activated in CVIS before you can go to the Social Security office. So don't try to go without checking in with us first. So please do your initial 10-day, you have 10 days from the day you arrive at camp. Check in with us, give us the address where you're living. We need to activate you in CVIS, basically let the government know that you've arrived at your spot, and then you can apply for Social Security afterwards.
We're going to go ahead and answer another question because I like it. It's about our New York City cultural meetups. There aren't any, by attending these events, there aren't any other discounts in addition to it, but a lot of these cultural meetups that we're hosting this year are free or very, very affordable. So if you haven't seen our list of New York City cultural meetups, check it out. There's a lot of really cool stuff going. A lot of them are free. Most of them are less than 15 to 20 bucks. It's an awesome way to meet other participants from around the world. It'll be all of our programs, not just Camp Counselor. We have our au pair program, our work and travel program, our career training program, and these cultural meetups are open to any and all of our participants. So we definitely encourage you guys, if you're in New York, check out our cultural meetups, get involved. They're really great events, and a lot of them are free, and all of them are cheap. So that's a good question, and we hope you guys take advantage of that. It's a really cool thing we have going on this summer. Kind of on that note, we're moving on to, can I travel after camp? Not only can you, of course, we encourage it. You can travel for up to 30 days from your last day of work. So if you finish August 15th, you got to leave by September 14th, but please take advantage of your whole 30-day travel period. Most importantly, be responsible and be safe. You are in a foreign country, you are far from home. Don't do anything silly. Be safe, planning ahead of time, make sure your accommodation is booked, make sure you know where you're going, make sure your family and friends back home know your plan. Have a good time, guys. Enjoy seeing sites in the US and get involved as much as you can, but please, please, please be responsible and be safe. Yeah, what happens if I leave camp early? This is a big one. We need to know where you guys are working, when you're working, and if you're not working. If you leave camp early, be it you decided to quit or your camp has ended your employment, we need to know. You've committed to an 8-week program, so if we think you want to leave early, you got to contact us. Maybe there's something we can do to help. Maybe there's a question we can answer. Maybe we can, I don't know. But if you're thinking about leaving early, you got to get in touch with us. You got to talk to us. We're here to help. And if there's something we can do to make the situation better, we're still going to make sure you're safe moving forward once you've left camp. If you do leave camp early, your pay will be prorated. So let's say you're earning $1,700 for the summer. If you leave halfway through, you're not going to get paid your full $1,700. You're only going to get paid half. So know that by leaving early, you're also not going to get paid your full stipend. If you do decide to leave early and have discussed the situation with InterExchange, you almost certainly will be asked to leave camp property immediately. This goes back to the tight-knit small community that summer camps are. If you're deciding to leave camp, they're going to ask you to essentially get packed up, and they're going to put you in a camp van and take you to a bus station or an airport for onward travel. There won't be any, hey, can I hang out for 2 or 3 days until I figure out where I'm going? It's just not how it works at camp. If you decide to leave and you've talked with us about it and you've talked to your employer is going to ask you to leave camp that day. And once you do leave, you're no longer allowed to work in the US. You'll be beginning your 30-day travel period. This is a big one. Don't get fired. Guys, work hard, commit. If you're having trouble with your employer or your coworkers or your campers, call us. We really can help. Getting fired from camp can be a very stressful event. I mean, again, you're far from home. They're more than likely going to ask you to leave immediately. It can be very stressful. It can be very emotional. And again, the key to not getting fired is communicating with us and communicating with your employer. There's a lot of common reasons that we see for getting fired from camp. Most of them are due to poor decision making, whether it's drinking or showing up drunk, the use of illegal drugs. It cannot be forgotten or understated that we're working with children, and it's a sensitive environment. So the use of drugs and drinking is inappropriate and will cause you to be fired. Other reasons are fairly obvious: lying, stealing, physically or verbally abusing a camper, poor work ethic. This is why we talk about camp is for the campers, and always remember that. If you do anything to put the campers in danger, you will be let go from camp. So remember, as a camp counselor, as a member of the support staff team, your job is to help these kids have one of the best summers of their life. And by doing so, you too will have an amazing summer. Another one that can be stressful is, what do I do if I'm injured and I need to use my insurance? I'll at least talk about this one a little bit.
Sure. So first things first, if it's an emergency, make sure you're getting the medical attention you need. But also let InterExchange know immediately if you are seeking medical treatment. And if there's anything that we can help with, we're happy to help with that. You all have insurance, so make sure that you present your insurance card, and I recommend that you print the email that you got with the insurance card in it, and that way you have it on hand and it's not like a big deal if you need to pull it up later. You must file a claim if you want your travel insurance to cover any medical expenses. InterExchange will not and cannot file a claim on your behalf. So also, you get the medical attention you need, and then go to the insurance website and fill out the proper forms that you need to submit the claim. If you do not file your claim, you could face large medical bills. And also it's important that you use your camp address, or that you use your home address, not your camp address, when you're filling out any forms.
Yeah, that's a big one. A lot of times you'll think, oh, I should put my camp address, that's where I'm at. That's where I should be getting mail. These things take time. So you're only going to be at camp for 5, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. You're going to need to put your home address because it might take a couple months for the insurance company or the hospital to actually get these things out in the mail. And by then you could be long gone, either off traveling or gone back home. So when you're filling out information, definitely use your home address, not your camp address. And again,
not InterExchange's address.
yeah,
right.
and not our address won't do you any good. But again, if you're injured or you need to use your insurance, we should know about it. So call us. We'll help you out. We'll make sure that you don't, get the right kind of treatment. You don't get faced with large bills. You use your insurance correctly. If you're going to use your insurance, give us a call. We'll help you out.
Yep. And only use an ambulance in an emergency. Your insurance will not cover the cost if it is not an emergency. So that can also be pretty pricey. And again, review the insurance information you received and contact the provider with any questions, any specific coverage questions or anything like that the insurance company can answer specifically. And remember, InterExchange is not your insurance provider. Seven Corners / NVH.
Yeah, I mean, InterExchange is the name of the company, but Seven Corners is the provider.
Right.
That'll be on your ID card. When you go to the hospital, really just give them your ID card. That'll have all the information that they'll need. But the actual provider of your insurance is Seven Corners.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty much just a recap, guys. It's a really, really exciting, unique opportunity, and this is the experience of a lifetime. These are just some of the key points we want you guys to remember and to keep in the back of your mind. InterExchange is your sponsor. We're here to help. That's our main role in this, is to help you guys out, make sure you're safe and you're having a great summer. Again, this is more than a job. It's a cultural exchange program. Be a representative of your home country. Bring little pieces of your culture to camp, be it a flag or some sort of local food or candy. whatever it is, bring something from home to share with your campers and kind of get the cultural exchange going from day one. Keep your important documents safe and organized. Your DS 2019 and your passport should always be somewhere safe and secure. Yeah, don't get fired. Have a good summer. Work hard. Stay in touch with us. Remember the commitment you've made to both your partner back home, your campers, your coworkers, and last but not least, have fun. It's an awesome opportunity. It's a great program. There's no place like camp, and we really think that you guys are going to have one of the best summers of your life, if not the best summer, and we want to make that happen. So stay in touch, ask us questions. We're glad you guys joined us today. We'll do a few more of these leading up to the summer.
Just last call for any questions.
So on. Oh, we're back.
Cool. Well, we're back. Well, we don't know what happened there. But yeah, just want to thank you guys for joining. We'll do more of these. You didn't get your questions answered, just ask us again, and we'll have another one of these in a week. Other than that, thanks.
Yeah.
See, go ahead and stop it. Okay.